Imagine a world where everything you see is a reflection of your inner self. A world where your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape the reality around you. This isn't just a fantasy. It's the world we live in, and it's governed by what we call the mirror principle. This powerful idea can change your life forever, especially if you're one of the chosen ones. You might think that being a chosen one means you have it all figured out, that you're always in control. But the truth is, many chosen ones are struggling. They're giving too much of themselves, trying to help others at the cost of their own well-being. It's time to say enough is enough. Let's talk about a big issue that many chosen ones face. You're gifted with amazing abilities to help and heal others. You feel a deep calling to make the world a better place. But here's the problem. You're giving so much that you're hurting yourself in the process. Think about it. How many times have you pushed yourself to exhaustion trying to solve someone else's problems? How often do you put your own needs last, thinking that's what a good person does? This isn't just about being tired. If this keeps up, you could face burnout, health issues, or even lose your special gifts. It's a tough situation. On one hand, you want to use your powers to help. That's what being a chosen one is all about, right? But on the other hand, if you keep going like this, you won't be able to help anyone in the long run. You can't pour from an empty cup, as they say. This is where the mirror principle comes in. It's not just about how you treat others. It's about how you treat yourself. The world around you is a mirror, reflecting back what you put out. If you're constantly sacrificing yourself, guess what the world will ask of you? More sacrifice. So, what's the first step to fix this? It's understanding how the mirror principle really works. This isn't some complex spiritual idea. It's actually pretty simple when you break it down. The mirror principle says that everything in your life, the good, the bad, and the in-between, is a reflection of your inner world. It's like you're standing in front of a giant mirror all the time. What you see isn't just random stuff happening to you. It's a reflection of your thoughts, beliefs, and the energy you're putting out into the world. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm a good person. I'm always trying to help others. Why am I struggling so much? Here's the key. The mirror doesn't reflect your intentions. It reflects your deepest beliefs about yourself and the world. Let's break this down with an example. Say you're always exhausted from helping others. You might think you're doing the right thing, but deep down, you might believe that you're only valuable when you're helping others. You might think you don't deserve rest or self-care. The mirror of reality picks up on these beliefs and reflects them back to you. It creates situations where you're always needed, always called upon to help, leaving you no time for yourself. But here's the good news. Once you understand this, you can change it. The mirror is neutral. It doesn't judge. It just reflects. So if you change what you're putting out there, the reflection will change too. This is where your power as a chosen one really comes into play. You have the ability to shape reality, not just for others, but for yourself too. By changing your inner world, your beliefs, your self-image, your energy, you can change what the mirror reflects back to you. Think about it this way. If you start believing that you deserve care and rest, that you're valuable just for being you, not just for what you do for others, the mirror will start reflecting that back to you. You'll find more opportunities for self-care. People will start respecting your boundaries more. You'll attract situations that nurture and support you, not just drain you. This isn't selfish, it's necessary. By taking care of yourself, by valuing yourself, you're actually increasing your capacity to help others. You're ensuring that your special gifts as a chosen one stay strong and vibrant. Remember, the mirror principle isn't about ignoring others or stopping your mission to help. It's about finding balance. It's about recognizing that you, as a chosen one, are just as deserving of care and support as those you help. So, how do you start applying this principle? It begins with awareness. Start paying attention to the patterns in your life. What situations keep repeating? What kind of people do you often encounter? What challenges do you face again and again? These are all reflections of something inside you. Once you're aware of these patterns, you can start to look inward. What beliefs might be causing these reflections? Are you holding on to ideas that no longer serve you? Maybe beliefs like, I have to solve everyone's problems, or if I take time for myself, I'm being selfish. Identifying these beliefs is the first step to changing them. And as you change them, you'll start to see the world around you change too. It might not happen overnight. The mirror of reality often has a bit of a delay. But if you stay consistent, you'll start to see shifts. This is the power of the mirror principle. It's not just about understanding the world around you. It's about understanding yourself. And for a chosen one like you, this understanding is crucial. It's the key to using your gifts effectively without burning out. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into how you can actively use the mirror principle to create positive change in your life. We'll explore practical steps you can take to shift your inner world and, in turn, shift your reality. Remember, as a chosen one, you have the power to shape not just the lives of others, but your own life too. It's time to use that power wisely. Continuing with sections 4 to 6 of the outline, here's the next part of the script. Now that we've talked about recognizing when our help might be hurting, let's dive into the next crucial step: setting healthy boundaries. As chosen ones, we often feel called to give endlessly, but boundaries are not selfish. They're necessary for our well-being and the well-being of those we want to help. Healthy boundaries are like invisible lines that define where you end and others begin. They help you protect your energy, time, and emotional health. When you set clear boundaries, you're saying, "I value myself and my needs." This isn't about pushing people away. It's about creating a safe space where you can be your best self and truly help others in a sustainable way. Here's a simple way to start setting boundaries. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. It might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to always saying yes. But remember, every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to your own well-being and growth. Try this. The next time someone asks for your help, take a moment before answering. Ask yourself, do I have the energy and resources to help right now? Will helping in this way truly benefit both of us in the long run? If the answer is no, it's okay to kindly decline. Another important aspect of setting boundaries is communicating them clearly. Don't expect others to read your mind. Let people know what you're comfortable with and what you're not. For example, you might say, "I care about you and want to support you, but I can't be available 24/7. Let's set up specific times when we can talk." This way, you're still offering support, but in a way that respects your own needs too. Remember, setting boundaries is a skill that takes practice. You might feel awkward or even a bit selfish at first. That's normal. But as you continue, you'll notice something amazing happening. Your relationships will become healthier. You'll have more energy to help in meaningful ways. And most importantly, you'll be modeling self-care for others, which is a powerful form of teaching. As we journey through this path of conscious helping, it's important to be aware of some common pitfalls that many chosen ones stumble into. By recognizing these mistakes, we can avoid them and become more effective in our mission to help and heal. One of the biggest mistakes is taking on other people's problems as our own. It's easy to get so wrapped up in someone else's struggles that we forget where they end and we begin. We might find ourselves losing sleep over their issues, constantly worrying, or trying to force solutions. This not only drains us, but can also prevent the other person from growing through their own challenges. Remember, we're here to support, not to live other people's lives for them. Another common error is ignoring our own needs while helping others. We might skip meals, neglect our health, or push aside our own goals and dreams. We tell ourselves it's noble to sacrifice everything for others. But here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not taking care of yourself, the quality of help you offer others will suffer. It's not selfish to meet your own needs. It's necessary. Many chosen ones also fall into the trap of always being available. We give out our phone number and tell people to call anytime, day or night. We drop everything when someone needs us, even if it means canceling our own plans or missing out on rest. While this might seem kind, it can lead to burnout and resentment. It can also create unhealthy dependency in those we're trying to help. Instead of making these mistakes, try a different approach. Rather than taking on others' problems, offer empathy and support while encouraging them to find their own solutions. You might say, "That sounds really tough. What ideas do you have for handling this?" This way, you're helping them build their own problem-solving skills. When it comes to self-care, Make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Schedule time for activities that recharge you, whether that's meditation, exercise, reading, or spending time in nature. Remember, taking care of yourself isn't a luxury, it's part of your responsibility as a chosen one. And instead of being available 24/7, set clear times when you're available to help. Let people know when they can reach out to you and when you're taking time for yourself or your other responsibilities. This actually helps you show up more fully and effectively when you are available. Now, let's talk about a crucial skill that every chosen one needs to develop: the power of discernment. Discernment is like a spiritual superpower. It's the ability to see clearly, to understand the truth of a situation beyond what's on the surface. When it comes to helping others, discernment is absolutely key. Discernment helps you distinguish between situations where your help is truly needed and situations where stepping back might be the most loving thing you can do. It's about tuning into your inner wisdom and the greater spiritual guidance available to you. When you cultivate discernment, you start to see the bigger picture in every situation. Here's why discernment is so important. Not every cry for help is what it seems. Sometimes, what looks like a need for rescue is actually an opportunity for someone to grow and learn. Other times, what seems like a small request for help is actually a critical moment where your intervention could make a huge difference. Discernment helps you tell the difference. Developing discernment takes practice. It involves quieting your mind, listening to your intuition, and being willing to see things as they really are, not just as they appear. One way to start developing this skill is through regular meditation or quiet reflection. Take time each day to sit in silence, even if it's just for a few minutes. As you do this, you'll start to notice subtle feelings and insights that you might have missed before. Another way to sharpen your discernment is to practice mindful observation. When someone comes to you for help, take a moment to observe the whole situation. What is this person's body language telling you? What aren't they saying? What patterns do you notice in their behavior or in your interactions with them? Don't judge what you observe, just notice it. I remember a time when I was still learning about discernment. A friend kept coming to me with the same problem over and over. At first, I tried to solve it for her each time. But as I practiced discernment, I started to see that by constantly solving her problem, I was actually preventing her from learning how to handle it herself. It was a tough realization, but it helped me shift from being a problem solver to being a supportive guide, encouraging her to find her own solutions. Discernment also helps you recognize when you're the right person to help and when it might be better to guide someone to a different resource. Sometimes, the most discerning thing you can do is to say, "I hear you, and this sounds like something that might benefit from professional help. Have you considered talking to a therapist about this?" As you develop your discernment, you'll find that your ability to help others becomes more profound. You'll be able to offer the right kind of support at the right time. You'll know when to step in and when to step back. And most importantly, you'll be able to honor both your own journey and the journeys of those around you. Remember, discernment isn't about being judgmental or critical. It's about seeing clearly with love and wisdom. It's about understanding the deeper currents at play in any situation. As you cultivate this power, you'll find that your role as a chosen one becomes clearer and your ability to make a positive impact grows stronger. Certainly, I'll continue with the remaining sections of the outline, including a conclusion, maintaining the same style and depth. Now that we understand how the mirror principle works, let's talk about the next crucial step: actively changing your reflection. This is where your power as a chosen one really shines. Remember, the mirror of reality doesn't just reflect your conscious thoughts. It reflects your deepest beliefs, your self-image, and your energy. So, to change your reflection, you need to work on these deeper levels. First, let's talk about beliefs. As a chosen one, you might have picked up some beliefs that aren't serving you. Things like, "I need to sacrifice myself to help others," or "I'm responsible for everyone's happiness." These beliefs might seem noble, but they're actually holding you back. To change these beliefs, start by questioning them. Ask yourself, is this really true? Is there another way to look at this? For example, instead of, "I need to sacrifice myself," try, "I can help others best when I'm at my strongest." Feel the difference? Next, work on your self-image. How do you see yourself? If you see yourself as a martyr or a victim, that's what the mirror will reflect back. Instead, start seeing yourself as a powerful, balanced, chosen one. See yourself as someone who can help others while also taking care of yourself. Lastly, focus on your energy. Your energy is like a signal you're sending out to the universe. If you're constantly stressed and drained, that's the energy you're putting out. Try to cultivate a sense of calm strength. This doesn't mean you never feel stressed, but that you have a core of peace and power that you can always come back to. Here's a practical tip to start changing your reflection. Every morning, take a few minutes to visualize the reality you want to create. See yourself balanced, powerful, and fulfilled. Feel the energy of this vision. The more real you can make it in your mind, the more power it has to shape your reality. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes that many chosen ones make. Recognizing these can help you avoid them and use your power more effectively. The first big mistake is ignoring your own needs. Many chosen ones fall into the trap of thinking that self-care is selfish. They push themselves to the limit, thinking that's what being a good person means. But here's the truth. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. You can't help others effectively if you're running on empty. Another common mistake is taking on other people's problems as your own. As a chosen one, you have a strong sense of empathy. You feel others' pain deeply. But there's a difference between empathy and taking on burdens that aren't yours to carry. Remember, you're here to guide and support, not to live other people's lives for them. A third mistake is not setting boundaries. Many chosen ones struggle with saying no. They feel guilty if they're not always available to help. But boundaries are crucial. They protect your energy and actually allow you to help more in the long run. Instead of making these mistakes, try this approach. Make self-care a priority. Schedule it into your day like you would any other important task. Learn to distinguish between empathy and over-involvement. You can care deeply without taking on everyone's problems. And practice setting kind but firm boundaries. Remember, no is a complete sentence. Now, let's dive into a key concept that's crucial for chosen ones, the power of self-reflection. This isn't just about looking in a mirror or thinking about your day. It's about really diving deep into your inner world. When you understand the power of self-reflection, you can start to see the patterns in your life more clearly. You can spot the beliefs and thoughts that are shaping your reality. And most importantly, you can start to change them. Here's a personal story to illustrate this. A few years ago, I was constantly overwhelmed. I was trying to help everyone, solve every problem, and it was wearing me out. I thought I was doing what a chosen one should do. But through self-reflection, I realized something important. My need to help everyone wasn't just about being kind. It was also about my own need for validation. I was using other people's problems to feel worthy. Once I saw this pattern, I could start to change it. I worked on finding my worth within myself, not in what I did for others. And you know what? As I did this inner work, my outer world started to change. I still helped others, but in a more balanced way. And surprisingly, I found I could actually help more effectively when I wasn't coming from a place of need. This is the power of self-reflection. It allows you to see the truth about yourself and your motivations. And once you see the truth, you can start to shape it. Let's do a practical exercise right now to help you tap into the power of the mirror principle. We'll call this the mirror meditation. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed for about 10 minutes. First, sit comfortably and take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes and imagine you're standing in front of a huge mirror. This mirror doesn't just reflect your physical appearance. It reflects your whole life. Now, look into this mirror. What do you see? Don't judge or try to change anything yet. Just observe. What situations do you see repeating in your life? What kind of people do you often encounter? What challenges keep coming up? Next, look a little deeper. Can you see the beliefs or thoughts that might be creating these reflections? For example, if you often feel taken advantage of, you might see a belief like, I have to please everyone to be worthy. Now, here's the powerful part. In your mind, start to change these reflections. If you see yourself always exhausted, imagine yourself full of energy. If you see yourself always giving, imagine yourself receiving support and love too. As you do this, pay attention to how you feel. You might feel resistance at first. That's normal. Keep gently focusing on the new images. Finally, take a deep breath and slowly open your eyes. How do you feel? You might feel a sense of possibility, or maybe some insights about your life. After doing this exercise, you should feel more aware of the patterns in your life and the beliefs creating them. You might notice a sense of empowerment, realizing you have the ability to change these patterns. As you start to apply the mirror principle in your life, you might face some challenges. This is normal and actually a good sign. It means you're making changes. One common challenge is doubt. You might think, is this really working? Can I really change my reality just by changing my thoughts and beliefs? When this happens, remember that change often happens gradually. You might not see big shifts right away, but small changes will start to add up. Another challenge is falling back into old patterns. You might catch yourself slipping into old behaviors or thought patterns. Don't get discouraged when this happens. It's a natural part of the process. The key is to gently bring yourself back to your new way of thinking and being. You might also face resistance from others. As you start to change, some people in your life might not understand. They might be used to the old you and feel uncomfortable with your changes. Remember, this is about your growth. It's okay if not everyone understands right away. When you face these challenges, try this strategy. Keep a journal of your progress. Write down the small changes you notice, the insights you have. This can help you see your growth even when it feels slow. And remember, every challenge is an opportunity to practice using your power as a chosen one. As we wrap up, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. This isn't just about changing your personal life. As a chosen one, when you learn to use the mirror principle, you're contributing to something much larger. Think about it. When you change your inner world, you change what you reflect out into the world. You start to create ripples of positive change around you. As you become more balanced and empowered, you inspire others to do the same. Your relationships improve. Your ability to help others becomes more effective. Imagine a world where all chosen ones understand and use this principle. A world where those with special gifts and abilities are empowered, balanced, and fully expressing their potential. This isn't just a dream. It's a possibility that you're helping to create right now. As chosen ones, we have the power to shape not just our own lives, but the very fabric of reality. By understanding and using the mirror principle, we're not just helping ourselves. We're contributing to the evolution of consciousness on a global scale. We've journeyed through the powerful concept of the mirror principle and how it applies specifically to chosen ones like you. Remember, the world around you is a reflection of your inner reality. By changing your thoughts, beliefs, and energy, you can change what the mirror of reality reflects back to you. We've explored the common pitfalls that many chosen ones face, like ignoring their own needs or taking on others' burdens. We've looked at practical ways to change your reflection, including the mirror meditation exercise. We've talked about overcoming challenges and keeping sight of the bigger picture. As you move forward, remember this. Your power as a chosen one isn't just about what you can do for others. It's also about how you treat yourself. By taking care of yourself, by valuing yourself, you increase your capacity to help and heal the world around you. Start using your power today. Pay attention to your thoughts and beliefs. Practice self-reflection. Set healthy boundaries. And most importantly, be kind to yourself as you go through this process of growth and change. Your journey as a chosen one is unique and precious. By understanding and using the mirror principle, you're not just improving your own life. You're contributing to the healing and evolution of the whole world. Trust in your power, trust in the process, and watch as your reality transforms. Remember, what you see in the mirror of reality is a reflection of you. Make it a reflection you love.